They walk fast, and are soon out of the wood in which they slept, along a stony path running beyond a little valley that grows wider the more they approach the bizarre mountain to which Gamala clings, and which is very steep on 3 sides, that is, to the east, north and west, and is linked to the remaining area only by this road, which runs straight from south to north, and is elevated between 2 wild stony valleys that separate it from the country on the eastern side, and from woods of oak trees on the western side. Many swineherds pass by in the middle of their grunting herds, going to the oak woods. Carts laden with squared stones pass squeaking, drawn by slow oxen yoked in pairs. Some horsemen pass at a trot, raising clouds of dust. Teams of ragged, emaciated diggers. I think most of them are slaves, or men condemned to hard labour for some reason, pass by going to their work under the strict surveillance of supervisors. As they draw closer to the mountain and the road begins to climb, they can see fortified ditches surrounding the mountain, like rings fastened to its sides. It must be a difficult task to dig out those works, particularly in certain spots which are almost sheer. And yet many men are working to repair existing fortifications, to build new ones, and are carrying on their bare shoulders stone cubes which bend the poor wretches and leave bleeding wounds on their naked shoulders. What are those citizens doing? It is perhaps wartime that they should work thus? They're mad, say the apostles to one another, while the women pity the unhappy men who are half naked, ill-fed, and compelled to do works exceeding their strength. But who compels them to work? The Tetrarch? Or the Romans? Ask the apostles once again. And they discuss the matter among themselves, because it would appear that Gamala is, so to say, independent of the tetrarchy of Philip and of that of Herod, and because it seems impossible to some of the apostles that the Romans should busy themselves in building in foreign countries fortifications which in future might be used against them. And the eternal idea, as fixed as a maniacal idea, of the temporal kingdom of the Messiah, is displayed as the insignia of already certain victory, of glory, and national independence. They shout so much that some supervisors approach them and listen. They are coarse men, clearly not of Jewish race. Many are elderly. Several of them have scars on their bodies, but their identity is clarified by the scornful remark of one of them. Our kingdom. Did you hear that, Titus? O big-nosed people. Your kingdom is already crushed under these stones. He who uses the enemy to build against the enemy serves the enemy. Publius Corfinius tells you. And if you do not understand, live long enough, and the stones will explain the enigma to you. And he laughs, raising his lash, because he sees an exhausted workman stagger and sit down. And he would strike him if Jesus did not stop him, moving forward and saying, "You are not allowed to do that. He is a man like you." Who are you who meddle with and defend a slave? I am mercy. My name as a man would not mean anything to you. But my attribute reminds you to be merciful. You said, he who uses the enemy to build against the enemy serves the enemy. You spoke a sorrowful truth, but I will tell you a bright one. Who does not use mercy will not find mercy.